Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome. You are welcome, sir. Yeah, quick one. Let somebody just give us a short prayer, please. Very short and brief, please. Yeah. Let us pray. In Jesus' name, in the mighty name of Jesus. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you, we worship you for this opportunity to be at this session. I pray, Lord, that you guide us yourself, O Lord, direct us. And all we're going to share today will profit us in our trading and portfolios in Jesus' name. That every one of us here, after this training, will take one decision that will take us to the next level to your own glory, Father, in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Yes, quick one. As usual, we want to look at the market performance for the week just ended August 13. And before I go to that chart, I will tell you that the week under review was really a bullish week. And as I said earlier, that they will expect a missed month for August. For the 2 weeks in August, I'm surprised when the data will have that for 10 years, August was up for just 2 years, closing in green. For good 8 years, it was down. For this year, 2021, we are seeing like a change. For the first 2 trading weeks of the month of August, we have seen a positive trend for the market. For me, it's a welcome development. Quick one, we'll just call up the all-share index, which is the NGS ASI, so that we can look at the market performance. And I will tell you from my own analysis we have done before coming up, you see volume that I see that price feed on, or the index feed on. This volume are gradually returning to the market, and that is a sign that people are really done their due diligence on the earnings that was just recently released, and they've analyzed and see their portfolio reshuffling, and they are moving from one sector to another. Because they are moving from one sector to another, I can see that some sector within the week under review close up, and why some that are not on the index of the market with the mean index, that activities in those sectors are also supported the market for the week. And that gives you an insight that you as a trader or investor, you need to look at for volume and what earnings. For those that are trading with the fundamental, earnings is what they want to feed on. They want to look at price feed on earnings. They want to look at how earnings is going. And that is also another good area of analysis. But for those that are technicians like us, although we combine the two in invest data, those technicians want to look at volume, because volume is what price feed on. The volume is the fuel of the market, fuel of equity prices. If there's no volume in the market, even though the market is going up, you should be afraid. If the stock is going up and there's no volume also, you should be afraid. Ask yourself, why is it going on? That means that uptrend won't last if there's no volume. But we know that last week, that is the week that ended on the 6th, there was no volume in the market. It was below 1 billion traded shares for that week. But this week we're under review now. We have seen that the volume have moved from 989.59 million to 1.6 billion shares. Tell you that this rally was seen. Yes, people say it is sustainable. I'll tell you to a level is sustainable because most institutional investors, most individuals, all of them are looking at where is possibility of making money, and they are moving there. As they are moving there, this trend will continue. But only that towards the end of the month or early September, we might see a slowdown before we start taking another position again for the third quarter result that will come in October around the end of September. That means we are really in a good mode for the market, and that is a good news for everyone of us that's in the market as we speak now, because market has some element of what uptrend that I know that is sustainable to a level. That means now, as an investor, you can invest very well. Traders can take position on stock that you know that they have good volume, good earnings, and just relax yourself without any panicking, because you have done your own due diligence in those stocks. And that is how you go about this morning. Yes, this is the market on a daily chart. You can see this market on a daily chart. That's why I call it up, so that you and I can see it, and we know our position from here. You see the market for the week under review, break out the first support level here, resistance level, sorry, and move to this one I'm open. It's here now already. Try to, I've broken already, but the volume it broke this one was also not too impressive. But the previous volume for that week was better. But for me, because we saw volume return to the market in terms of the NGS, I see that this trend is sustainable. And why sustainable? I've mentioned it. The earnings are positive, and we're expecting better numbers at the end of third quarter, which is coming out at the beginning of the last quarter of the year. Not only that, those interim dividend paying companies or banks are yet to release their number. And I'll tell you, nearly all of them have sent their numbers to CBN, waiting for CBN approval. That means once CBN release their number, also that will trigger the market depending on what they are paying. But I will tell you, people like us in Invest Data, we are not looking at the payout, the dividend of whether 30 kobo, which I said last week, or 25 kobo. But look at the quality of earnings that will emanate from these banks. If those earnings beat expectation, we'll see another rally in the bank. And don't forget that the banks, their prices for is grossly undervalued, and their prices are selling low. And we'll have factors that is running for the bank, supporting the bank, will do that their earnings will improve going into the future. That means if you see this half-year result of the bank, you give insight to what we should expect at the end of the year from the banking sector, who for me is okay. And that is why anybody that's in good banking position, don't need to panic out, just hold on, because goodies are coming as we speak. Because when they release their half-year result, give you more insight of what you should expect from them. If that is the case, you need to work with your position and don't panic. But at this point, look, of course, what sharing there is very key. That's what we're looking for going to individual stock. At this point, you look at the volumes that supported the market for the last trading day week. It's not too much, but it's above the previous week. And only that, it's above the average. Tell you that the market is still in order. Also, want to go back to individual stocks when we're looking at all those individual stocks with their volume, whether a breakout or no breakout. But before I go further, I want to look at the market here today, week to date, from week to yesterday, market gained 1.83. 1 month to date, market has gained 2.53, and quarter to date, 4.26. But year to date, a negative 1.86. It tells you that the market is already easing out from the negative position to a positive territory, which is very good for you and I in the market. That is, the market has resistant decline, recovering all the loss as we did before now. Coming back where once market break out that 39,800 again, market will turn into a positive position, which is good. And this ahead of Q3 number. And also don't forget that in the history of the Nigeria market, the first quarter of every year is the most active year. Not only in Nigeria, globally, that is where you see a lot of activity because of festivity. We call it a seasonality. Other period, you see a lot of things happening in the equity market and also the general economy. For that, we expect that our Q2 performance will also be high. And also forget that last year, 2020, which I've said earlier, if you can't check the quarterly bar, the bar that's longest there is what in the last quarter. And that says that quarter was up push the market to around that 50.70% that we recorded last year. And don't forget that those high cap stocks that also put the market up, they've kind of suffered losses before now. But after releasing their earnings recently, you can see that there's a lot of repositioning in those sectors now. And people are moving to all those high cap stocks for defensive. Not only that, when the price go, of course, there are a lot of signal that this company, that their earnings is improving. They might likely to pay higher dividend compared to what they do last year because their numbers have improved. Then people are now going back to that high cap stock, and this high cap will control about 60% of the market. That means if those startups still going up again, the market will bounce back. That means, as I said earlier this year, that market is likely to close positive this year. It might also achieve surpass what we saw like because the last quarter is very well, very, very well active. And that if this high cap stock that controls 60% of the market, people go back and the price start rallying again. You can see what is happening MTN. If the Dangote and Boa also go in that direction, I'll tell you that the market will also close good for this year and good to expect that it's going to go that way. Because these earnings at the end of third quarter will be seen in October will change the whole face of the market, and that will be good for you and I. Like I said, the sector recession is ongoing, but for the week under review, you can see that the banking sector gained 0.47. The insurance sector, which remember our review last week when I said that you should be very careful of that sector. The only sector that suffered huge loss or setback in the week under review, recorded a negative 2.37, while the food and beverages has also improved 0.3. Yes, it might not be more, but I tell you that because people are coming back gradually, after analyzing the number, next week we'll see more reposition and more oscillating movement because people will be selling off some stuff and moving on that. And also, if you look at industrial sector, yes, that one had a negative 1.3.5, which is good. Oil was up 0.43. You know that oil sector has rallied, this week, previous week. But people are taking profit, and we're also waiting to see direction. There's no movement in that oil sector for now, but I believe fluctuation will continue in the new week we're entering. That tells you that the market is still in order. If you look at market, market broad generally, market is healthy and strong, moving up as expected. For me, there's no cause for alarm. But for this calendar review, market was what we call on equilibrium. Considering that the gainers were 29 and the losers were 29 for the week. That means at this point now, market is also looking for either a continued trend, really looking at the market breadth alone. Also, if you come to this chart too here, looking at top, market is also at this level, also waiting for. Let me draw this slide at this level where it has touched here, has broke out this resistance level with this point, but market is still resting on this line. That means market is waiting for another news by next week. One more people position in other stocks, especially high cap stock, and some also medium cap stock and blue chip companies that are ready to pay the bill. You see the market crossing. But once market break out, this one that is here, which we are looking at, which is about 39,840 or 850. Once market break it out, market will come back to repositive and we'll see uptrend going. That means the remaining 2 weeks of the month of August, let's see what happens. But as we say that, there also will be a miss, because if you're to be like end of the quarter, we expect that the end of this month may be window dressing. You might not see much because of not end of the quarter. But once you cross into the month of September, you see the first week or second week might be though, but as from second or the third week of September, you see a change. But people, both a lot of them have seen numbers already, have analyzed it, they're not positioned ahead because they have seen the earnings of a company that is trending up on their last year 2020 position, first quarter this year, second quarter. They can easily now make some projection how the company will they sustain this their uptrend in earnings. Those that will sustain that uptrend is by end of this month or early September or maybe people will now be positioning ahead of what they should today. And that is how to invest. You don't wait to see the number to jump into a position. You must position ahead of the number. If that is taken, that means all the position you are now, if you know that you are in the right company, you don't need to panic. Or just put position and look at time. But don't leave the market, watch the trend of the market and see how the market is also performing. That is a very thing that you should look at this point. On that note, I don't have any fear. Market is still in order. This for the daily chart. We want to quickly look at the weekly chart. The same using meta stock. Yeah. This for our weekly chart for the week. You can see already that the market is already at equal level. This resistance level are breaking it a little, not much, but the target for the week is here. Once it break it up out, you see that the market is done. Also, don't forget that the possibility of profit taking at this point, because we have different investment objectives. People that have made money, they want to exit. That should not panic you out of your position. Rather, just your position and work, because there is still potential for uptrend for the market. Looking at this chart here, the breakout here, look at where market is coming down. This chart pattern, it's telling that it's going somewhere. It's going somewhere. If this one is is extended, we call it extension, that will also be good for the market. You don't need to panic. On a daily chart, market is healthy. Weekly chart, market is healthy. But also, if you look at this candlestick here, it also tell you that this value is also registered to decline. A touch here, but see in green close up. Tell you that market, you can see this trend here. It's an uptrend for almost 4 weeks, because this red one, this one are taking care of it. You can see that this is an uptrend for almost 1 week. And if you look at your technical indicators, all of them are conforming to the market trend. The good thing is that for the weekly chart, the money flow index are moved above 60%, 60 points, while also in a daily, tells that funds are coming back to the market. Why? Because of this position of portfolio. That means you do not just look away from the market. Position right and hold on to your portfolio. Those stocks will comment so far. I'm watching all of them. They are not doing badly. They are all looking up. And the ones that are not looking up, potential that they will go up. That's why we didn't say you should sell them. Just hold your position and watch the market. There's no cause for alarm at this point. But quickly, before I go into question and answer, I want to look at selected fundamental stocks that we review in the office for this program so that we can share together and I share your own opinion. And I want you to ask questions on that. These are fundamental things, not technical now. So there are few selected group and privileges sector that we pick, look at their fair value, look at their book value, look at their market price. Then it will guide you on what to do at this particular time. Because I said the sector is recovering. Because it's recovering, you can play short with that sector and also move the trend of that recovery. That is how to make money in the equity market. Those ones you can play defensive. I mentioned them last week that sector like agricultural sector like the banking sector, few of them are there for defensive, and also in the industrial sector. But for those that of consumer and oil, they are still recovering. You have to play short and watch the market and make money from in and out. Want to see stability in these two sectors. But for insurance, for now, I say you should just go break and watch. If you are in good insurance position, I need to drop out. But don't, because we see that the results that came from that sector are really not too impressive. For that, you have to play safe. Like I said, when price is going up, any is going up, going to support. But when any is looking down, price going up, it won't last. And that is the case of those insurance stocks. Their prices are low and their numbers are not too good. Then relax once you see a good upturn in that sector before you look. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. For me, that is how to invest. Those sectors, I said, their numbers are not looking too good. All you just hold your position and watch. If you want to sell off, if your loss is not much, cut your loss. Cut your loss, because there are other sectors that you can make good money. Cut your loss and move to that sectors. And that is how to invest at this season, because we've already seen the position of all these companies. Only the banks are left. For that, we know where you expect the earnings to be to be sustained. Those who know that the earnings will be sustained, quickly sell out of that position. That is why you have opportunity in the market to do a short-term sector rotation. When all this is done, it's for you to be in the right stock. Don't say because this company will like the name or the name of the MD. No, you are there to make money. Just take position where you see that you can see light at the end of the tunnel, that at the end of the day, good dividend will come out, their earnings will drive their price, or that is how to go this time. But quick one, before we go to question and answer, I want to call up the table that contains this, what I just said, I want to share now so that we can. Let me quickly call it up. Hello?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. You can see this fundamental position of selected food and beverages sector of companies. If you look at this column here, these the securities, or you call it companies, or what you call it, you have a Cadbury here, Flour Mill, you have Dangote Sugar, Nascom, Honeywell, Nestle, PZ, Unilever, and Northern Nigeria Flour Mill. As at yesterday Friday, this is the price they close. But the book value of these companies are this. For Cadbury, the book value is 6 naira, 84 kobo. For Flour Mill is 37. For Dangote Sugar, you can see 11.24. For Nascom is 4 naira 55 kobo. For Honeywell is 7 naira 3 kobo. For Nestle is 19 naira 90 kobo. For PZ is 11.21, and for Unilever is 13, and Y for Northern Nigeria is 5. This is their book value. But you now look at what is the fair value of this company. The fair value, and the fair value is for those that are taking long. But for we that are short-term investors, we look at volume and make money. If a long-term investor that you are looking at where you can see a company going up to a such price, this is the time to look at this kind of company. For the fair value of Cadbury, from this chart, if you are seeing from there, you can see that the fair value is 8 naira, and it is selling around 9 naira. Why for Flour Mill? Hello, Flour Mill, for the fair value of Flour Mill is what? 88 naira 24 kobo. Why that of sugar is 19 naira 48 kobo. For Nascom is 10 naira 8 kobo. For Honeywell, this Honeywell, I will tell you that this stock, the way it's going, if we can find the government constituent get our FS right, the foreign investors are likely to come back to this economy, into our market, and they are the one analyzing stock faster than us here. If over there, for what I'm doing on this Honeywell invest data with fair value that our after analysis was 12 naira. But I said on this program that last program that a foreign company that also do analysis and education like us, they value this Honeywell around 45 naira for value Honeywell. They that they are seeing something there. That means all these stuff that are undervalued, these are where you look for a long-term investor. But for stock like Nestle, can see Nestle fair value both here on Tanzania is at just about 660, while PZ is 10 naira 58 kubu, and the Unilever fair value is 8 naira, and why the Northern Nigeria is 21. But this price target.
I didn't have it off and good.
Hello, this price target here is for us to guide us. For Capri, our price target for Capri is 11 naira 7 naira 50 kobo. Why not of flour mill? You might ask me what's the time frame. I'll tell you the time frame is between 6 months and between 1 year. But the target price for this is not a kind of a buy and sell signal. We're giving you the target price. You don't just say I'm giving you what to drop in. No, I'm giving you information that you can look at. The goals in buy and sell signal, the one I'll give you after the training is different. But for you to on your own look at and have assessment. So I say everybody has what your investment goal. If the stock we are picking meets your investment goal from here, good to go. For flour mill Nigeria, the target price we are seeing from where it is now is 42 naira. While that of Dangote sugar is 24 naira 10 kobo, and Nascom is 16 naira 97 kobo, and Honeywell is 4 naira. We are forecasting for now. It might go above it if the stock is fair value is around 12 naira. So my going at around 45 naira. That means surpassing 5 naira, 10 naira is easy depending on what money flow into that position. That is why if you are in that kind of stock, you need to watch whether you are taking profit. Don't jump out totally. You can take your profit slowly if you are in this kind of stock now, because you have seen the potential of the company where it's going. If you have made money, you can take money slowly, but not run out because if you continue to move up that you have sold out outright, you'll be complaining, oh, why did I jump out? That's why I say let your investment objective also guide you. For Nestle Nigeria, the target price we're looking at is around there.
Completely.
We are getting him back. He's trying to come back. Okay.
Hello, sorry for the internet. I don't know what to do again. Nigeria, I think it's becoming such a Lagos was something like this. What of those outside Lagos? Okay, for Nestle, I'm sure that Nestle is about the target price we're looking at 16 naira, where 1,600. And there's one thing that's happening in Nestle. For the past 6 months, people that started yesterday, there's another update that the major shareholder in Nestle have been buying. And the price is not moving above 1,540. With all this they are doing, that is that also if you are in that kind of stock, don't jump out, because when they are buying, they are only just increasing their sale because they are buying from the market. At the end of the day, if you look at the end of this financial year, the matter that they are moved from 64 to 68% holding. Gradually, they are pushing us Nigerians out of the market. They are the one buying it, buying from others that want to sell. That means they are increasing their stake. Before they increase their stake, that means they are also seeing value in the company. So when you see major foreign investors in a major company increasing stake, that means they are saying something you and I are not seeing. If you are that kind of company, don't jump at it. That's why I said all these big cap like Nestle, Ete, Steplats, Dangote Cement, MTN, and Bua, they then be so that not all of them are in your portfolio, but have one or two of them to kind of balance your portfolio for defensive. And if they move up, it's also a plus for your portfolio. Don't have few of them in your portfolio so that it will balance your portfolio. That when market shake at any time, you have a wager to help you manage your portfolio. So that is what I observed in Nestle. Nestle, no accumulation by major stakeholder. It's a sign that you might see an uptrend in price anytime, but I don't know the time, because the way they are accumulating that stuff also seeing something that you and I are not seeing. For that's why they are accumulating that. For me, let us just watch. If you are there, don't panic out of Nestle, but hold your position. PZ, our target price I thought to touch 14 naira, 9 naira is the target price we are looking at, but not tomorrow, not end of the month, so that you should know why you are buying. If you're a local investor, these are to guide you on how to go. Why for Unilever, the target price was 17 naira that we're looking at. If you surpass it, good, but for Vera, it's a guide for you. Why for Northern Nigeria flour mill is 9 naira. And before now, there's a news that flour mill want to take over kind of March. Actually, they have about 4% of that company. We don't know whether it's continuing, but for now, the target price we're looking at is 9 naira. That if you are in that kind of position, you also go to wait and watch and see that if you're a trader that you're already there, you can still take side patient so that you can also benefit from it. Because I tell you, once the market resumes by next week, we'll see more oscillating trend because there'll be sell-off in some stocks, some sector to move to that sector so that people are positioning. You can see what happened in the market yesterday. Volume were traded previously, heavily volume on Honeywell. Yesterday was also on Flower Mill. You can see that people are even taking more position. Are they institutional investor? They are seeing something. Are they high fund manager? They are seeing something. That means you as a retail investor don't follow this smart money. That's why your money flow is very important for you. You always know where fund is entering the market or fund is leaving the market. That is why you need to go with your money flow. It's key of the indicator that I use personally. It tells me, it prompts me of where fund is entering a stock or where fund is leaving a stock. Once you can know how to use your money flow, because it combines both volume and price to give you direction. Once you know how to use it, you can go to it. And this is how our market review goes for today. Let's take questions before we give you stocks for this week. Thank you very much, and God bless
you. Okay, thank you, Ambrose. I really appreciate.
Hello, sir. Come up, sir. What happened?
If you look at your analysis, yes, if you look at your analysis, Nestle shouldn't be in this group. Because Nestle, if MTN, Airtel, Boa, Dangote's men, Presco, Como Oil, who are the defensive stock. So I believe that the other group, they are in the right group, but Nestle, it look odd in this group because you did not bring their lights of MTN, of Airtel, Dangote's men, Boa, Presco, or Como Oil. I think you may get time to bring us the defensive stock and see how they look like.
Okay.
Because that is my only observation of it. But all other one is okay. But it's okay, even though you say the fair value is 660, but the target price is 1,600. I want to remind members that in early 2019, Nestle went up as high as 1,750. So even giving it a fair value of 1,600 is very fair and is not something that cannot be achieved. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I agree with you, sir. But for like what you just said, the defensive stock you mentioned, I said there are about 6 of them that control the 60% of the market. But today I'm looking at the food and beverages, and that is the sector let's operate. But in terms of price, we will know how to classify it again. No problem, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Any other question? Hello? 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 Hello?
Yeah, hello, Ambrose. Thank you very much for your session.
Thank you, sir.
Can you hear me, Ambrose?
Yes, go ahead, sir. We are with you.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. I'm hearing you, sir. Go
Can you hear me, Ambrose?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes. I'm hearing. Go ahead.
Hello, Ambrose. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, I see. Thank you for Thank you for your session today. This Honeywell, I'm just trying to find out, given the issue that they have with the First Bank and then all their, chairman within the last couple of months about loan that they took and all that. Do you still think it's a company that the fundamentals is really very sound and their loan portfolio, and then all the issues that were raised around their chairman then using his influence as a bank, as a First Bank board of director to take loan and all that. Does all of this still make the stock a good stock?
Okay, yeah, thanks for that question, sir. From here, I would just say that, when it comes to business or when it comes to loan, it has to be for a particular purpose. If you look at their what we call a book value for this company, on the long run, their position, their shareholders fund will take care of everything, unless on their short-term liability. I know that for a while they beat up, but the company has focus and they are going somewhere already. You can see that the product line of this company is far better than others in that, not only in terms of multiple product line. They have plenty product line like what Nestle is taking advantage of in the industry. Also in that industry, they have multiple product lines, which is good for the company. And also they have posted where they are going. If I said earlier that the book value of this company as we speak now is about 7 naira, their book value. For the fair value, like what we invested after analysis was 12 naira. I told it on this program even last week that also on a foreign company that's talking to reaching and all those stuff, value the company as around 45 naira. And then they said for the industry, the food and beverage industry in Nigeria, that is leading this order with 109 growth in earnings for just a period of short time. Tell that they are rating it, people also looking the way of that stuff. That is how investors move. For me, the debt, since they have capacity of paying the debt, even they make provision in their operation. For any business to expand, you borrow to expand your business. They didn't borrow the money to go and do party. It's invested in the company. They know how much was invested in flour and Honeywell. They can also pay back with time after they have discussed with the management of the bank. For me, that should not be an issue. For me, the company has a future, and also the possibility that this company will become better tomorrow is high. I will see the number already moving in that direction. For me, I would advise, if you are there, just put your position and watch the market and things of food in the market. That is the way it should be. The numbers are really improving to support the price. Like I said earlier, on the short run, on the long run, earnings will always impact what on price. If their earnings keep on looking up, the price will also keep on looking up. I said it earlier that what drove the price of Vitafoam and UCAP, these two exactly, is not because of the name of their company. It's because the earnings of this company prove that, yes, considering on uptrend, price follow that earnings in that uptrend. If Honeywell can also maintain that tempo, the earnings keep on running, price will still go higher up. That's what I see for Honeywell. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Omordion.
Sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Permit me to make a small comment on honey flour.
Okay, sir. Go ahead, sir.
When the issue of Oba Chudeko came up, it was allegedly removed from First Bank because of Honeywell, because of the loan. Now, you see, we are in a country where when people talk about loan, they assume the person is a criminal. However, the inside story about Honeywell and First Bank and Central Bank is this. Honeywell borrowed some money from First Bank. And those loans, they were guaranteed by Honeywell shares. That is, if Honeywell is unable to pay, then First Bank will call the directors of Honeywell to issue them shares so that they will become become shareholders in Honeywell. So that is the issue. They are not really, there is nothing so bad about somebody borrowing money, and those shares is guaranteed by the shares of Honeywell.
Okay.
And I think they also have an agreed price.
Okay.
You can look at this up and make your conclusion.
Okay, no problem.
You, sir.
Thank you very much. Already, First Bank has 5% of Honeywell, even now to speak. Okay, that's a good one. In addition to what I've explained, okay, we can also find out, as we just said, more information about that. There's no cause for alarm. If you are there, decide patient and watch the trend. Especially, you can see that the stock is rallying on a strong volume. This strong volume, we technicians, is what we watch. When I start seeing volume disappearing, I'll change my mind. But now I can see that volume supporting the uptrend, and the number is also supporting the uptrend. Let's take time and watch before we can take another decision. For now, if you are there, put your position and see how far to go. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Omordion.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Hello?
I can hear you, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please, I want to know your consideration of how this your presentation now may be affected by the election cycle, which may start influencing the market maybe from sometimes next year.
Come again with your question. I didn't get you very well. Come again with your question, sir.
No, I said at what point do you think the election risk of election next year will start affecting some of these our projections and the market?
Okay, that's a good one. I like that question. Yeah, you know, in the history of Nigeria, our market has also demonstrated that any pre-election year is always a mixed market for pre-election year. But for me, it will be at the beginning of the year. You know that the election was coming in 23 February. We can see more political activities politicking around from either middle of 2022 by God's grace. But that will not affect our market much because the economy is on a recovering trajectory already. Tells that it's going somewhere. And you see that numbers we are seeing this year is better than what we saw last year because you are recovering. Last year we were in crisis on the economy, but now economy is finding its globally and locally its direction gradually. Good to know that we will sustain before the election. And also, don't forget that most of the policies that drive the economy, they don't manage from the political classes, but because they have influence, that's why we factor them in. But because it's a pre-election year, I don't see it to be an oscillation year too, but not that it will affect the market drastically because markets are already finding a direction of recovery. All we need are markets to feed on liquidity, feed on impressive number, and other things that put up until when we are close to around middle of the year, when political activities increase, my people want to play safe. They want to go to safe haven, some defensive score, or some can sell up a whole car to see the outcome of the election. But as we are going, the music we are hearing concerning the politics, they also inform what to do. We come from now and predict that this is what's going to happen. Let's take advantage of what we have now to invest in the first quarter of the year that will position and take advantage the April, May, then once we see the trend changing, we can also discuss this is important that we are here by God keeping us alive to be sharing an idea of what to do at different places. Like I always say, that market is in phases. At different market phases, strategy will also evolve on how to play and play safe in the market. There's no cause for that. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Election is not next year. Election is 2023. So we have good 2 years. So the question of election should not arise now. We have 2 good years before the election.
No. I understand that, pre-election year, which is next year, activities of the politicians will start coming in. That is what they are factoring in now, sir. Yeah, we agree that it's 2 years, but as from next year, being pre-election year, activity preparing of against February 2023 will be on. So that we can also play safe and, protect our portfolio and our investment. It's not a bad one, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Any other question?
Hello, Mr. Ambrose. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Ambrose, can I contribute?
Yeah. Do you check about the general meeting of Jais?
Hold on.
With regards to the election.
Okay.
The market now is dominated by local investors.
Yeah.
In the past, we used to have the foreigners, the foreign direct investment.
Yeah.
So when it is time for election, they start to close shop and then the whole market collapses. That is not likely this time around because the proportion of local investment in the market now outweighs the foreign investors. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good one too. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, for Jahi's position.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, Ambrose, can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, I can hear you. Cedric, go ahead.
I just wanted to add to what the last caller just said.
Okay.
Yes, I want to add to what the last person just said now.
Okay.
The foreign investors cannot come in now. When the American stock market is booming, at least I was watching CNN, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, they said the stock market in America is really booming.
Yes.
And their own economy is more settled than our own. There's a lot of uncertainty in our economy.
Yes.
So how do you attract them? When oil prices are oscillating around $68, $69, and we even have a restriction by OPEC. So obviously, like what the person just said, is dominated by more of the local players. And the more local players are only looking at money markets. for security's sake. Usually the fund managers, like pension fund administrators and others. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your addition. That is nice. Yeah, for Jais, I promised last time that I will work on it. I will tell you that because of my activities, I didn't look at that as circular. Or if anybody has information on that circular, let the person share for us. I didn't check that circular for that Jais. I was engaged in many things this week. Please, if you have any information on that Jais, extra AGM or extraordinary meeting, you can share with us. I've not checked the publication online. Unless I will do that, that means hopefully by God's grace, we can discuss it next week. Because if anybody has information on that, just share with us and let's move on.
I saw some. Okay, I saw some vote in Fidelity Bank too. I don't know what's happening.
Hello. Okay.
No, Ambrose.
Hello,
Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Yeah. Yes, that Jais is for appointment of directors and the other issues. Yeah, it's there to discuss appointment of directors.
Okay.
And maybe other issues. I saw the corporate disclosure. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Somebody said Fidelity. What's your question on Fidelity?
Yeah, I saw some. I've been noticing some heavy transaction in Fidelity.
Yeah.
In fact, some heavy transaction since like 2 weeks ago.
No, Fidelity, I would say that among the second tier banks, I would say it's one of the leader in that sector, even the leader in that in terms of performance, because we can't classify what they call Stanbic to that is on its own class. Why the first tier banks apply for them, but Stanbic is on its own class. But for the second tier banks in Nigeria, Fidelity is one of the leader there, and also they are not doing badly. And they announced about 2 weeks ago they are also going to do audit the account, which we discuss here. So their auditing account is not the first time they are auditing the account for half year. But they are not inter-dividend paying company, bank, sorry. And if they decide to start this year because of their new management or their new MD, fine, good. But that will go. But for me, it is the potential they are seeing in Fidelity that people are taking advantage of. And also technically, the stock are giving us a sign that it's still going to go up. Which are giving that stock as one of the stock the previous week. They're still looking at it. We call it the base, the pattern base for that stock is still positive that it has trend to go up in terms of technical aspect. Then fundamental, once their second quarter result come and it's also is positive, that will be also additional push for that stock to go up. That's why I said if you are Fidelity, you don't need to panic. You know where your price will enter and your exit target. Just watch the market between now and the end of this month. Let's see how it goes, because I can think that there's a change, in the trend now. I said it earlier that before now, August has been a bad market for Nigeria. For an decade, it only was up for 2 years, down for 8 years. But if 2021 is turning to be a positive one again, so good. That is what we expect the market to. If it happens, all these banks that are really for me on their value are still at low price will go up. And you know that anytime, any day, one put consistent dividend comes from the banking sector. And that's why the retirees, PFAs, play banking because they are sure because of the regulation and consistent payout, they are going to make money and they are regulated for that. Every PFA want to play in the banking sector. That's why I say that also they have volume for traders, institutional investors to come in and go. If that is happening in Fidelity, I'm not shaking. It's a good thing for Fidelity. If you are there as a shareholder or a trader, just watch your position for a while. Don't panic out at all. Don't panic out your position. It's a good news that people are entering to get more of it. Because most times, if you see that kind of move, I check it, it's a buy volume. If it's a buy volume, it's a good one. For like what happened in Honeywell, like this week on that review, all the positions we are taking there is a buy volume. They are not sell volume. That is speak volume for that company. And also ahead of flour mill markdown, you see volume entering. These are buy volume. No, they also say that it tells something about the company. And also these numbers from these two companies, Honeywell and flour mill, have been positive. And if that is sustained, we'll see a better price for them. And I said earlier that the food and the consumer sector are recovering, gradually. Because last year, you know what happened because of the pandemic. But now, at the economy recovering gradually, things are also improving. Consumption, despite the inflation, little is improving compared to what we saw in 2020. For me, we'll see, and also if CPN can sustain this their new policy and they have access to official rate for exchange rate, and that is good for them. And most of them also have done backward integration. That will be a plus for them. A plus for them. I see that sector. If this recovery trend is sustained, we'll see a better prices going to the future in in consumer goods. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Ambrose.
Mr. Solomon, your hand is up. Ask your question. Mr. Solomon, yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Solomon, your hand is up. Ask your question.
Hello, Ambrose.
Hello. When is flour mill marking down their price?
Next week, on Monday, on the 16th.
Monday.
On the 16th. Monday. Yeah. Mr. Solomon, your hand is up. Ask your question. Okay.
16th.
Mr. Peter, your hand is up. Ask your question. Hello, Mr. Peter, your hand is up. Ask your question. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Ambrose, what's happening to Caverton? I say, what's happening to Caverton? Okay. Ambrose, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Hello?
I can hear you.
What's happening to Caverton? What's happening to... Okay, what's happening to Caverton?
And for me, I will start this way. You know, we'll discuss it here in this program too, that when you see insiders dealing, you know, check the side of the dealing. Is it a selling position or a buying position? Now, in Caverton, it's a selling position we are seeing from directors. Is there a news that something is going to go wrong? Which, you know, I've not heard from anywhere. Their numbers, you know, for Q2, it's not a bad one. But now selling off at this point, I can't just smell my hand and know what is happening there. We have to find out what is happening in the company. Well, Caverton as price have been a bit stable, despite the time the air service was hit by COVID-19, the price remains stable, only that they cut their dividend. But if directors are selling, like what we just said, we have to find out why they are selling. Once we do that, we'll also discuss it on this program. For now, I just saw notification of directors selling, fine. We have not seen why they're selling, reason why they are selling. But if anyone in the house has reason, can share, but I have to do my own diligence to find out why they are exiting their position.
Yeah. Ambrose, from what I heard, the street says it has to do with free float requirements.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yeah.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Well, please, I have not heard you discuss anything about CAP in recent time.
Hello?
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello, Ambrose, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I say I've not heard you discuss anything. I've not heard you say anything about CAP in recent times. What's the position of the other company?
Okay, you need a chemical analyze the product. Okay. For me, yeah. You know, they are also part of UAC group, but as you don't ask now, there's no information I have to share that is why. But for me, their numbers they release, you have to relate numbers and the technicals of that company to know where they are going. Their numbers are not necessarily bad, but let's still watch the position in that company. I don't have any information apart from the numbers I just saw, but if there's any information, we can share it here. But technically, the stock is a bit flat. Technically, I've not given a sign to jump in now. Technically, that's why we have not recommended it for anybody. Once we notice a move technically, we can also let you know. But their numbers, the release was not too good for second quarter. Not too bad, not too good. It's an average number. Let's watch and see what will unfold in the company. There's no need of panicking. Yeah. And also now they've acquired the Portland paint. I believe it will have enough market now that will boost their sales going to the future. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Any other question? Yeah.
Yes, I have a question, Ambrose.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I go ahead?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay. Ambrose, you made mention of something before I ask my question about CBN sustaining their new policy in terms of dollar through the banks. I think from the news I got that I think we have a fork of firepower because World Bank has finally agreed to give us the loan of $3 billion on the 24th or 25th of this month.
Okay.
And secondly, the federal government is planning to go for Eurobond. They want to sell Eurobond. And that automatically is going to affect the money market because they will reduce the borrowing in the local market, which in turn affects things like treasury bills and all that.
Okay.
But my question now is, stocks like livestock, what's happening there, UCAP, what's happening there. May and Baker yesterday was trading for 4 naira 40 kobo. But when you check it, the market itself, it was selling for like 468, 470. I don't know what that's like a premium. Then coaches, or what they call them, that one, there is no buyer at all. All about sellers. So I don't understand. Can you please just say something about this stock?
Okay, I'll start from Cuties. Cuties, I tell you, Cuties moved from a price of 2 naira 12 kobo to 5 naira 55 kobo. If you are seeing sellers, you should not be surprised. They are taking their profit. And when a company gives 1-for-1 bonus, automatically you have enlarged your share in issue. If your performance going to the future does not match that additional share created, you're going to dilute your earnings and could become a problem. I said earnings support price. If your earnings is not strong, the people that are smart are taking their profit and they are not waiting for the markdown for what? For the 1-for-1. Why some are taking long might say that I want to buy take for 1-for-1. But mark you that once they mark down and their share in issue increase, yes, it also reduce the earnings of that company. For me, it's not a bad one that people are taking profit, but that will make the stock available for people that want to buy if you are thinking long, if you want to take bonus. For the smart investors that know that, oh, if I switch for bonus, let them mark down. When the price comes down, we'll start seeing a better earnings. If I come back, then we are there. After markdown, the earnings will not support the price again. For it to be around 5 naira 50 kobo. No, if you that the demand when the announcement will have put the price up, smart investors will have to take profit. That is for that. For livestock, I said earlier that livestock is not importing anything for us to speak now in that for their own business. And also look at the price economy, look at the number that came from there. As if they are not important things, they are not affected by dollar exchange as such. For me, I see potential in those companies. If you are seeing stock like livestock oscillating, it's a good time to buy. This is stock that created a support level around 1.67 kobo. Now the new support level have become around 2 naira and 2 naira 10 kobo. You can see it has moved to another level entirely. Then if their third quarter comes to the market, you see where it's going. And they've not paid dividend for the past 6 years, but their earnings turned positive in 2019. If that is maintained, they are likely to pay dividend this year. No matter how small, that will change the pace of of livestock. If you're livestock, I would advise especially that you hold your position, especially those that give this forum that buy into livestock, still hold on and watch. Everything that attracted into livestock is still intact. We have not seen a deviation from what attracted to that company now. For that, we encourage you to there hold your position for livestock. Yeah. That way.
Yes, me and Baker.
Yeah. Me and Baker, if you know the sector me and Baker is now, if you see my price oscillating, that should not panic you. That is a sector that if you are thinking long, it should be. Because you can see that they are enjoying government kind of favor in terms of bailout from CBN. Not only that, what is happening globally in terms of COVID-19, even the new data variant that came in, again, this of recent that that is all over the places now. They need to look inward because several I said in their last supplementary budget, they want to encourage these sectors to go into vaccine production. If that is done, I see that stock like Fixing, stock like me and Baker, stock like even what you call Pharmadeco, stock like GSK, and all of them, Nimet, looking up because they won't want to go into it. And if they have one business to do that they're going to put the vaccine, especially the me and Baker and the Fixing that had the facility to go into vaccine production. That will also be a plus for them. For me, if you are in me and Baker, hold on. And also, if you look at me and Baker pay out their dividend, it will go up gradually and can be consistent in uptrend in terms of payout. Hold your position in me and Baker. There's no cause for alarm.
Hello, Abus. UCAP.
UCAP. Sorry. UCAP for me. UCAP has shown you where they are going. Their numbers have kept looking up, and that tells you that they are going somewhere. And technically, UCAP is having volume, is having uptrend in price. There's no negative technical to speak now. And fundamental in terms of earning is looking up. If you are in UCAP, just put your position. I would advise don't sell off because even the target for UCAP is around 8 naira. It touched 7 naira 35 before profit takers brought the price down. It is still going to go back and surpass that price, especially if their third quarter beat expectation. And don't forget that Q3 number is very important in any market of the world. They look at Q3 as a number that will give the insight of what's going to happen in the last quarter of that year. For example, now they say sell in May and come in October. Why do they come back in October? It's not that October is what they see. They want to know the performance of most of the companies for that third quarter, the insight and activities for the last quarter of the year there. That's why they come back in October. Here in Nigeria, we have seen the numbers of this company where they are going. And for me, you cap at the moment that they have power to pay good dividend. And most of the PFAs who want to invest in that kind of company where the dividend yield is high. For example, now look at their numbers already. They have made 52 kobo earning per share at half year. Invariably, before the end of finally project, they achieve either 1 naira 10 kobo or 1 naira 12 kobo, and they pay you 80 kobo. Every good PFA that won dividend can put division and take that dividend plus later capitalization and come out. No PFAs, they are not looking for where to go. They know where their money is safe. And also that kind of stuff has that category of a company that pay dividend for 5 years. And that is the criteria for any PFA to invest in any company. Now, UCAP have paid that dividend for 5 years, and their payout is high. For me, you don't need to panic in UCAP if you're already there. Or if you want to enter this price, you also know why you are entering. Because after markdown, where it's going to come down, that will be next year. For me, you don't need to panic in UCAP. There's a potential that UCAP will still go, especially if funds start coming back. There was something I just said that when the Eurobond come up and everything, the treasury people become less attractive. If treasury become less attractive, money market will look for where they can make more money. Equities is the next place to go. If government is looking for foreign loan and stuff, and in local market they are not growing now, then all those PFAs, all those other players in money market, they want to come and make money. What happened last year is because they all return back to capital market or liquidity. Then, but now that they are seeing again, they'll come back again because at the end of third quarter, they will have seen where many companies are heading to. They can come back. That will that will fuel the market, in the last quarter of the year. Yeah.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, the FITSN came out with an impressive half-year results, but the price, as we speak, does not support that because the EPS was 57 versus 17 in the corresponding year.
Yeah.
So I've been watching and seeing, we've not seen a positive response in that regard. So what do you think is the case?
No, for this kind of results, you should be happy. What mean that market might not respond immediately. I said it before now that on the short and the long run, that earnings will support price. If you are seeing such impressive number from fixing and market are not ready, just relax. Market will look that direction. Because as I just said before now, if you start seeing funds coming back to the market, you look at those companies that are on that price, those that have value, and those companies that will rally because of their numbers to support their payout. If a company like Fixing having about 57 kobo per share as at second quarter, then the projection for the full year should be not be less than 1 naira, 15 kobo or 1 naira.
1 naira.
Yeah, for me it's a good one. If they are not ready, you that are there, you accept patient, you wait, buy at a good price and relax. Market will do that direction minimum from now. Especially if they commence this expected government to support them to go into vaccine. If that is made over to become public, see there will be people with rushing for those stock in that industry. Especially if you want to think long, then for me it's a good one. Just hold on. If you are there, hold on. Don't need to panic out. Just hold your position.
Ambrose, market has already responded for the fixing. Fixing was trading between 3 to 4 naira. Now it's trading about 6 naira. It has already gained 50% from the lowest within there. So that means it responded. But people want to see fixing going much higher.
Yes.
But don't forget that in that group there is Glasgow Smith. Glasgow Smith look like a leader, and Glasgow Smith, their result is not that good enough.
Yeah.
You can see it hanging around 6 naira, and fixing being a smaller player compared with Glasgow is the Glasgow performance that retarded the uprising of the fixing. But it's a matter of time, because today we are trading ethanol oil at 6 naira plus, compared with all that we are trading at 4 naira.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of time.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I want you to maybe shed more light on this Capital Hotel. Of recent, I have been seeing a lot of bids, and that stock is not available. And last time they released a corporate disclosure about board meeting for, is it Mobile to take over. So I want you to shed more light on that. Is Mobile coming in that company, or is there any more interest now that you'll be seeing more bids and no giving offers? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. The question is that yes, Mobi have been listed from let's say 911 years advert from exchange, but they are also going to the OTC. But investing in hospitality is a kind of them to take position in that sector too. If they are investing there and they have made it over there, they are going to enter with 7 naira. But I'll tell you, shareholders in Capital Hotel, they are not selling. Where will you see to buy? Because if they say they are entering to their company around 7 naira, they want the price to go up. But that's why you are seeing there is no offer for the bid on that company. Let's just keep our fingers crossed and watch, because the price they say they are going to pay 7 naira to acquire the shares. But now the share is not available to everyone. Those that own it are not ready to sell now. They want to see when they complete the arrangement and see what it comes to them. That's why it's not available. And don't forget that when a company share in issue is small, and also it's in few hands at a time, it's difficult to get those shares on the exchange. And that is why, like somebody has said, the cost of the 20% float for Cavaton, we also want exchange to do more of that, so that let's have a good float of most of the companies. Today, most of the big names in the market, their float is not up to 20%. If it's not there, how will you get these stocks? And last time, MTN said they want to kind of release more shares so that they can create the additional float for themselves and their people. That is what we know. But if the stock is not in the market, you can't have access. But the information remains. They are still moving about. We want to see the outcome of their extra AGM and the extraordinary meeting. Then we'll now know the position. But they are saying they are going to buy the stock for 7 naira. And those that are shareholders, they are not ready to come and sell on the floor. And you can think, no, they are waiting to see. If they sell off, automatically they miss that 7 naira. That's why it's not on the floor. There's no cost for land. Let's just wait. I know that because of the COVID-19 and all those things, it affected the hospitality sector. But now they are coming up gradually. If Mobi or 111 see potential, the opportunity to also enlarge their own cost or their profitability, investing there is good. But the stock, as you just said, is not available in the market. That is the only thing. Yeah.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I thank Alaji for the explanation he gave, but I want him to come in again. If you look at the performance of Claxo, half year, the EPS was 5 kobo versus 15 kobo for corresponding period in 2020. And even their sales, their revenue equally dipped by about 5%. Okay. But if you look at this sector generally, every other company performing in this or participating in this sector is doing well. May and Begado, the result wasn't too impressive. Then Fitson, and Fitson too, Fitson has not really responded to this this performance. Fitson was around 5 naira, almost 6 naira before the result was released, unless it has already factored in the expected result before the result was released into the price. So what is the future of Claxo? That is my question.
Okay. Alaji is in the house. Alaji, take over the question. Is in the house, or I should answer? Hello, sir.
Yes, Ambrose, first I will start with the hotel they are talking.
Okay, sir.
That the stock is not available. That stock wasn't available because once they get listed, they were asked to continue offering it to the public, and people refused to buy. Today, less than 20% of that share is circulating. In fact, about 10 to 12% of it. So how can you get it? So that's what really happened to that stock. But I believe that they are looking for maybe a core investor who will enable them to meet up the minimum requirement of 20%.
Okay.
So the 11 PLC that want to come into it, I'm not surprised. And probably they can bring some changes into it. But don't forget, hotel business is a business that is highly competitive, because if you look at Lagos now, we have Marriott, we have many Red Blues. There is more hotels coming, international standard. And the same thing with Abuja, and therefore make the competition in that line very, very difficult.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, for the GSK, I just explained that. There's a question there. Yeah.
Yes, for the GSK, I told you that the GSK have decided to sold their cash cow. That is the fruit juice that they are doing, and now they are not bringing the desired results.
Yeah.
But being a leader, still stand on that price, and that is what is affecting fixing. Because if you look at the GSK, it's now trading around 6 naira. And whenever fixing go above GSK, it will not survive until such a time that fixing prove beyond reasonable that they can pay good dividend, they can do this and that, then the market will reward them with a higher price. But for now, you have to just bear it. GSK is one of the factors that is affecting the price of fixing.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Elijah.
Yeah, thank you, House. Then finally, before we close, let's look at the stock to watch for.
Mr. Ambrose, I have a question. Please,
okay. Yes. Sorry, I didn't see you. Okay, go ahead, ma. Go ahead.
Please, now that flour mills is closing, is marking down tomorrow. Can we on Monday? Can we get out?
No. You take the dividend. The markdown is very small. 1 naira, 65. Yeah, they will regain it immediately. Not in the next 2 trading week. For that, you take the dividend and watch. Don't sell off. Don't take the dividend.
That stock has been too low for my liking. My expectation is higher on that stock.
I agree with you. Just a side patient.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Just a side patient.
Thank you.
Because I know that their Q2 will be better. Then if Q2 is coming in October, already then take your dividend and wait. When Q2 come, market there to you, now come out with profit and you smile. Then the dividend become additional income.
Okay, so then for Owando, are we still staying or we are getting out?
Owando, for me, I would advise if you have made profit before Owando, you can take it gradually. But for those that are buying now, hold your position. Owando is likely to cross 6 naira before their 31st, August 31st, their AGM for 2018. And in that AGM, there has been someone that will come that also add as a fuel to Owando after the AGM. That's why if you are there, I would advise you also hold your position if you are not buying, because at the outcome of that AGM also determine how far it will go. And before that AGM, the price might also go up. If they release any of the results that is expected according to agreement with SEC, that also add a cost to it. But for me, I know that at the end of the AGM, so discussion there will also be a plus to
what about Access Bank?
Access Bank, okay. You are not here when I got it. I said all those banking stuff. We are not interested in more than we want to see the strength of their numbers, so that we cannot know where we are going. For me, I see Access coming out a stronger number that will surprise the market, and if that is achieved, the price will hit as high as 14 before the end of the year. But if you're an Access, a side patient to, let's see. But for the banking sector, the results that came from others that are in second tier other banks, they are not too attractive. But if these first tier banks can tell us where they are going and see the number, and investors see it, they will appreciate them, and that will change the face of the banking stock. Let's keep our hands crossed and wait for their audited results for half year. That will give us insight again where they are going. For in Access, hold on to your Access. Access, hold on again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. God bless you. Yes, before we draw the curtain, the stock we are looking at this week, they are key, and also you have to look the way of these stocks, because I see some potential in them. If you are not in UBA, get UBA now. UBA is becoming technically attractive, and they saw what they did in their first quarter. UBA is one stock we are considering this morning. If in your portfolio, take UBA. Also, if you don't have access, if you can have access to Honeywell at this point too, you can take Honeywell again, buy Honeywell. The price is at first 2 naira. And also, if you take the history of technical analysis, when a price plus all those major prices, we'll call them a name, technical analysis. Once it cross those major price, they are about to continue. And also, if the volume are coming to support at this point, it tells you that they are going somewhere. I see potential in that stock. That means if you're a trader, you can buy at 250, you're off at 240, you have made a 20%, can go. That means for those that want to trade stock, you can look at Honeywell at this price. It's not a bad one. Take position in Honeywell. Why looking at Honeywell at the same time, I see also potential in Unilever. Unilever still has potential to go up, but our focus in Unilever is around 16 naira and 17 naira, and it just closed at 50 naira. That means Unilever is one of them. You can make 10 naira on Unilever, you can make 10% on it, 15%, you can trade Unilever, but if you're a long-term investor, also simple Unilever. Then the three stocks for this week are now Unilever, Honeywell, and UBA. These are the stocks you are taking from this question and answer today. Unilever, why those are said for last week, they are all looking up. One who bought the previous week. Single position, if you have meet your target as an individual, go ahead and make profit. But for this week, we are entering, we're looking at Honeywell, Unilever, and UBA. These are the stocks to buy for the new week. Thank you, and God bless you all. As usual, let somebody quickly pray for us. Yeah, a Christian brother prayed at the beginning. Let the brother pray. Hello? Hello? Let a Muslim brother pray for us. The Christian brother prayed at the beginning. Let the Muslim brother pray for us to round up the class. Yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد ونستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Amen. Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend. I wish you the best in the new trading week. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambrose.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a
Mr.
nice
Afro.
weekend.
Yeah, thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day, ma. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Afro.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you, Ambrose.
Thank
God
you,
bless
sir.
you.
Yeah, God bless you, sir. Yes.